Hello all you beautiful people, it's your boy Wardy, and we're back out with the latest video topic regarding the team in Queens, this time highlighting the young phenom himself and Ronny Mauricio, and how in just a very small sample size so far this season, Mauricio has many fans, including myself, firmly under the belief that he is the real deal. So we're going to be highlighting everything that Ronny has done to this point, what we like, what we certainly don't like, what is he going to get better at with his game, what is his long-term potential future in the organization, and what has made Ronny Mauricio stand out right away versus other top Mets prospects, not only this season, but in years past. What type of future is Ronny Mauricio going to have in Queens? I think it's going to be a good one. We're going to deep dive all that and more. But before we go further, I have to let you all know about today's video sponsor and how you can get a chance at winning a signed WardyNYM jersey, all thanks to our good friends at Mojo Fantasy. And for those that aren't aware, Mojo Fantasy app recently came out and has taken the game by storm. It's this crazy new app that turns sportsbook odds and selections into fantasy contests. So here's how it works. There are thousands of NFL and MLB player props, right? You build a portfolio, and the better that portfolio performs, the more cash you win. Pick as many props as you want to try to beat the crowd. It's a whole new way to play fantasy. The props act like stocks, so you can buy and sell live all game long. It's the only fantasy app out there that lets you make moves after the game starts, so you're not stuck with a bad pick. That is absolutely clutch if you're asking for my personal opinion there. You can cash in on a hot start or just hang on and let them ride. That's it. Make picks, make moves, and most importantly, make money. Download the app now in the Apple Store and use my promo code WardyNYM for a 100% deposit match up to $100 your first time deposit. Links in the description for more, and for your chance to win a WardyNYM signed jersey in the next couple weeks is when we'll be announcing the winner. All you need to do is click the link in the description, sign up, use my promo code WardyNYM, and join a contest. It is that simple. Do those steps and you are automatically entered at your chance at winning a beautiful WardyNYM signed jersey that I have with me as we speak. It's that easy, guys. Go up, sign up today, and thank you so much in advance for Mojo Fantasy for sponsoring today's video. Alright, I already know what you're thinking, so I'm going to just say it for you. You're saying, Wardy, you're really calling a guy who's played 14, 15 or so games at the MLB level at the time of recording this right now, that being September 19th, 2023, the real deal. What are you smoking? It's got to be some good stuff, so pass it over here. In all seriousness, I'm aware, yes, I don't want to jump the gun too early when it comes to players, and of course, as fans, we have a tendency to certainly do that, I don't want to add added pressure or anything like that, but the reason why I've been so adamant about highlighting Ronny Mauricio's surgence here at the MLB level since they called him up over the past month is because he has looked effing brilliant right away, right from the jump. And there have been so many qualities about Mauricio's game that have stood out on a level that we simply haven't seen in recent years with Mets prospects. And in my young fandom, I certainly have not seen all the tools that we see on a night-to-night, day-to-day basis with Ronny either playing at second base or what we've seen a decent amount of time too now at third base with Brett Beatty's struggles continue, which really makes you wonder who's going to be the Mets starting third baseman in 2023. That's what we're going to get into here too. But guys, I want to know, and gals, your initial reactions to Ronny Mauricio's performance thus far in 2023 down below in the comments. I really want to know how you're feeling, because as you see from his stat line down below, Ronny's off to a roaring start. Okay, in just 14 games this season, he already has a total of 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 6 stolen bases for a 308 average, a 345 on base percentage, and a 404 slug for a OPS plus and WRC plus, which means how better is he than, say, the average hitter? He's in the 110 category. So average is 100, 110 means he's slightly above average, which is right around what he was doing in the minor leagues so far this year. And a lot of people, including myself, would have loved to see Ronny Mauricio caught up earlier this year. I mean, the guy's been tearing the cover off the ball quite literally since the Dominican Winter League last winter, that last fall. It's been that long. It's been a full calendar year of Ronny Mauricio playing nonstop baseball in different leagues, different organizations, and dominating at all those respective levels, or at least looking very impressive in doing so. Now, this is a Ronny Mauricio, as many of you are well aware, I've written him off in years past. I was that fan that had discussions about Ronny, knowing that he was primarily a shortstop, and unless the Mets moved him around, in which they have now, was a guy that's definitely could be parted with via trade, especially in a bigger blockbuster trade. So for the first couple of years of WardyNYM rumor content and reported content, I always had Mauricio in those type of discussions as that prospect that could be the odd man out because there wasn't a position for him. Now we fast forward towards the end of 2023, and Ronny Mauricio looks like that he has potential to be the best of the bunch, or close to. You know how it is when you have a bunch of young, really talented prospects. They never all pan out. So it's a matter of how much quality do you have, and how much of that quality are you able to pull out of said quality? Now, we're not going to know right away. We've seen some Mets prospects with struggles, highlighted by Brett Baty as a great example. Brett has just not been able to lift the ball well at all of the MLB level so far this year, and has played a massive factor into his lack of success, of course, along with the mentality that just has not been there. So Brett Baty, I'm not writing off whatsoever. I think his bat-to-ball skills are tremendous. I really do believe he has a strong future as Mets third baseman. However, could it be at third base or could it be more left field? Because Ronny Mauricio, in this short sample size, is really making the case that he could be the next man up as potentially the next big thing in this lab. Now, I know you're also wondering, what stands out about Ronny Mauricio? Well, let's start with the eye test, shall we? You've watched some of the games, at least a couple. I know a lot of you fans are done watching Mets baseball this season because, quite frankly, why watch unless you're just a diehard fan? And I understand that regardless on you're more of a fair weather fan or a diehard fan, whatever amount of Mauricio you have watched thus far, you can probably come to the conclusion that, yeah, the kid is good. He even signed the inside of this hat when I met him in spring training this year in Port St. Lucie. Really, really nice guy, Ronnie. Absolutely massive build. Look at him. He's just towering. There's a reason why him, Ellie De La Cruz, and O'Neal Cruz are not only friends, but they all look like twins in their build. The fact that they all play shortstop or just some type of infield position. They're either a switch hitter or just a lefty batter. They all have similarities to them, not only based on looks, the build specifically, but also their game. And Ronnie comes in now after we saw the Ellie De La Cruz come, and now it's definitely dropped a bit because he's had his struggles this rookie year. Mauricio taking the game by storm early with that over 300 average, and this is something that I want to stick on because batting average certainly does not mean everything, especially in today's game. Well aware, I'm that fan that will go into the advanced numbers, look at sabermetrics, go through the analytics, and tell you that batting average only means so much when his expected batting average is, say, 50 to 100 points higher, right? But Ronnie, his bat-to-ball skills is what separates him from the rest. Let's start there. Mark Vientos, Francisco Alvarez, Brett Baty. What do all these kids have in common? They all had early struggles at the MLB level. None of them whatsoever got even close to looking really good, dominant at the MLB level when they first came up. They had little sprinkles, little flashes, but the contact hitting simply wasn't there. They were all swing and miss, couldn't command the strike zone. Ronny Mauricio comes up, and he's smooth as butter like he was all year long in AAA as one of the best hitters in all minor leagues this year, right? He can't just hit gap to gap as a really strong switcher. He can't just hit the ball out of the park with a freaking exit velo, one of the best you'll see. Already has the highest exit velo out of all Mets this season. Keep that in mind. Keep all these things in mind, and you come to the realization that Ronnie just gets it. Since he really started to crack things right in the Dominican Winter League last year, he has been a man possessed. He has been able to handle the bat-to-ball skills so well, and yes, the ground ball rate is still there. Yes, he has those struggles, but when Ronnie's right, yes, he isn't taking a lot of walks, but the walks don't matter if he's constantly putting the ball in play. Hard contact, no less. That hard exit velo that we see quite a bit with Mark Vientos, that we see a lot with Francisco Alvarez. We're seeing it now with Ronny Mauricio, but we're seeing it with a guy that has come up to the bigs right away and just knew how to perform. He looks comfortable, he looks poised. You know, some guys, and we've seen it in recent years with not only Mets prospects, but with prospects in all sports, they get up with the bright lights, and especially if you're in a big city like in New York, and they can't handle that pressure right away. It gets to them mentally. And Brett Baty, as much as I love the guy and I wish him the best, I'm excited to see what Baty's future is going to be, he mentally has gone in his head quite a bit this year. Ronny Mauricio, again, smooth as butter. The guy looks like he's been caught up all season long. He's slapping the ball wherever it's going, whether it's left, right, center. His defense at second base looks completely fine. Third base, yes, there's some clear holes there because he's not familiar with the position, but you know that if he's given time, you have to like the chances of him getting good reps there and actually performing with that really wide frame that he has at 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", in that area. There's just the athleticism, the pure athleticism that Ronny Mauricio has is making him stick out. The stolen bases, 6 stolen bags in 14 games. That's right around close to a clip of stealing a bag every other game. And you like that if you're a fan. You like the speed element. You like the ability to get in scoring position at a solid clip. You like the fact that, yes, even though he doesn't get walked a lot, his walk rate, his on-base percentage is solid because he's putting the ball in play so much. And he's someone where, yes, he'll pull those singles plenty, but he really knows how to slap the ball and go into those gaps and hit those home runs when need be. Ronny Mauricio really profiles as a guy that I could see in the bigs as soon as next season, potentially hitting 15, 20 plus bombs a season. We're looking north of 70 RBIs. He just gives me that vibe of right around 800 OPS, a little sub 800 OPS. Could be because of, say, the struggles with the walk rate, swing and miss a little bit, but The bat to ball skills is certainly there. He's starting to hit from the right side better this year after having early struggles in the minor leagues and just throughout his young career. All the tools, all the raw potential, all the raw power, all the ability is there. The swagginess too is there with Ronny. You have to appreciate that as well. It's always nice to watch not only great defense or great hitting, but they just have that little pizzazz. They look like guys that are supposed to be there. They don't look uncomfortable. It looks like they're ready and they're poised for the big show and the big time, the big moment. And that is certainly the case here with Ronny Mauricio. So my question to you Mets fans, as we get to wrapping up this discussion, is Ronny Mauricio, what is your expected future for him? Because I firmly believe at this rate that Ronny is going to be in the organization. He will be starting for the Mets next season at either second base or third base. I feel very confident saying that at the current moment until proven otherwise. So I want to know how you're feeling. What do you think the future of Ronny Mauricio is? And follow-up question, should the Mets heavily consider Ronny Mauricio as their starting third baseman over Brett Baty to start 2024 and having Brett, say, toy in the corner and more of a either starting every day in left field or in a platoon role? I would like to see him play every day, but his recent struggles are something that I know we have to evaluate and see what is the best way for his development and the Mets to have immediate success in 2024. So whatever your thoughts are, good, bad, indifferent, drop them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for the endless support. And before we get out of here, just to go on a couple more minutes, I have some massive shout outs that I have to get because I was beyond grateful to receive gifts recently from you amazing Mets fan followers of mine. Now, I'm grateful. I have a PO box that you guys know, linked in the description. I've had many things sent to me over the past couple years since we started the channel. I've had, whether it's jerseys, whether it's, unique types of memorabilia or just stuff to put on my wall, everything in between, I'm very grateful for. And the latest thing that we have been sent to me has been from my good friend Dave. Dave, you know who you are. Shout out to you, my friend. Dave is a longtime supporter of mine. Even had the privilege of meeting him in person at a Mets game this past season. It was great to do that. Dave is always beyond generous, so I want to give a shout out to Dave, but I also want to give a shout out to Eric as well. But let's start with Dave just for a second. Dave, thank you so much. He got me this Mets logo to put on the wall. Really appreciate that. He got me, let's see here, a Mets fan cave. Let's see, Mets fan cave rules. You love that. And at the end it says always root against the Phillies, which is the best part of it. A couple other things. Just Dave, thank you so much for your generosity as always. You always mean the world to me, my friend. I appreciate every single one of my supporters and the ones that go out of their way to do things like this. You have no idea how much it means to me and how much I appreciate and how much I savor it. And also Eric, thank you so much for what was a fantastic letter that you sent me. Really not only humbled to read this, but just happy that I could be a help in any way. And just to hear your story really does mean a lot to me. It made my entire day. You have no idea. So want to just highlight quickly what my good friend Eric was beyond generous sent my way. This is a signed baseball, and if you look closely, it's signed by Tom Seaver. They are also in here too, but he also sent me a signed Doc Gooden baseball and a signed Darryl Strawberry baseball. And one of them is signed, and it's the 1986 World Series ball style too. So I'm truly floored. I'm blown away. Thank you so much, Eric. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Dave, you have no idea how much I appreciate you always. But you guys, all of you, just a couple examples of the amazing followers that we have here on WardyNYM. There's a day that I don't wake up beyond humbled and grateful to be in the position that I'm in, to not only interact with you guys, but to have a positive impact on your lives in any way. And then to receive things like this, again, cannot say enough how much I appreciate it, how much I love every single one of you viewers. And thank you again, Eric, for these amazing baseballs that I cannot wait to put on a shelf behind on the wall behind me soon. Dave, cannot wait to get all the stuff hung up that you sent me. Thank you guys so much as always. Stay tuned for more consistent Mets content. Big offseason coming, big content coming, a lot of new things coming. Get pumped up, get excited, Mets fans. Just the beginning. But before we get there, Ronny Mauricio, he's a stud. Peace out, folks.